So step number one, get everything that you have in your direct control in your lead bucket. Now, maybe the way that you make this is you make a list with 2 columns. Everything you have direct control over here. And then the second thing that you do is with everything that is in that bucket, you do it and you do it faithfully. This is the stuff that you hustle after. This is the stuff that you bulldog. This is the stuff that is clearly in your column, in your bucket, and you do it faithfully. And if you want to know how to do it faithfully, it's based on the things that we talked about the last 2 weeks. To do something faithfully means that you're not just doing what's most practical, but you're doing what you feel like the Lord has led you to in prayer. And you're doing these things not so that others will serve you, but so that you can serve others. You know, one of the things that radically just changed the way that Amy and I think about disciplining our kids is we heard somebody say that when you have a kid who is misbehaving, to see them as a kid who is struggling with something, not as a bad kid. And that flips it. Because then it's not about me and my kid talking back to me, but it's about helping them to learn how to interact with adults. It's not about my kids serving me, but it's about me serving my kids. Get everything you have direct control over into your lead bucket, and then do this stuff faithfully. And then you take your lag bucket or your lag column, and you put everything in here that you don't have direct control over. You know, it's the things that you spend a lot of time worrying about, but that you ultimately cannot directly affect. It's the graduation rate. You don't have direct control over that. It's the revenue. As much as you think that you have direct control over it, you don't. There are things that you can do that lead to it, but you ultimately don't have direct control over that. Put it in the lag bucket. How your kids turn out when they're 25, you ultimately don't have control over. There are things that you can do, but you don't have control over. Put it in the lag bucket. And then once you've got everything you don't have direct control over in your lag bucket, well, this is what you pray fervently for. These are the things that you bulldog. These are the things that you do. These are the things that you pray for. And you realize once you've got your lead bucket and your lag bucket that you don't just have a bucket or a column with business terms on it, but what you've got is you've got your to-do list, and you've got your prayer list. And everything that's in here is your responsibility. And the Lord's gonna help you with it, but ultimately you gotta make the phone calls, you gotta raise the kids, you gotta do all of those things. He's gonna be with you, but you gotta bulldog it, you gotta do it. And then everything over here is not your responsibility. Now you care a lot about it, and you have a vested interest in how this is gonna turn out, but ultimately it's not in your power. So what you do is you don't try to change those things directly, but you pray for those things. You go after the stuff in here, and every day you pray fervently for the stuff that's in here. And I'm telling you, if you do that, here's what it does. It lowers your anxiety, and it increases your productivity. From a very practical standpoint, it does those two things because you're not as worried about the big stuff, but you are focused on the little stuff. So you're not as anxious because you know what to do. You know what's in your to-do list, what's in your to-do bucket. And it increases your productivity because you're not worried about doing this stuff, you're focused here, very practically. But on a spiritual level, it makes a big impact too. Because all of a sudden you are tapping yourself in to something a lot larger than yourself.